Candlelight Vigil for no, the Chasomare, Tuyagan, Tama Pido, the Stanley, General, the Barrel, go by nation in there, you are born. Let's not pay the banana, let's not pay the let's not pay the banana, be the Sotoya, be happy to Yabare, General, go by donation in their family, the Candlelight, General, General Chasomare, Democracy. Tabama Chasomare, Anna Shivasaki, Chasomare, General, Tuyaga, Yabamiane, the sheet that woman in that Tuyagamia, another school again in the Tipare. The Bolivia Miro, Pisa Purita, the Bula Vida Power Pita, to the Mare, China, Ninamia, Alo, the Balabao, the New Baba, and Nigo Alo, Jesus to the Mare. Kana dunia kana sini oleh nasi sate ni bare, saya bila jadi na abija bau, lo kami mereka biar no, Punjab biasa, jesu ni bare. Australia friend and fellow people would like to inform you that they are selling the donation for the little flower Candlelight. They have a store over there, so you can bring me to purchase. Thank you for your support.
Of this land and pay our respects to the elders both past and present. Today marks the 90th day of the civil resistance to the military coup in Myanmar. Tonight we will remember those who have given their lives for the future of our nation. Since the military coup that took over in 1962 to this present day, the candles and lights symbolize the honouring of those fallen heroes, their bravery, their sacrifice, and to celebrate their patriotic heroism. There's also two important banners that you'll see to my right. One is for the fallen heroes and one is for the fighting heroes. Please ensure to leave your candle lights and flowers in respect to pay your respects at the banners. The other really important banner is the one at the back, the white with the back there, just to your left. Feel free to put your signature down, write your signature, write a small message. And again, this is in honour of our fallen heroes.
Before we get started with tonight's events, I'd like to begin by going over some housekeeping with everyone so that it assists with running this event smoothly. So first, we have some QR codes that are available to view song lyrics online. We've got COVID management QR codes that are also available as well. Water and refreshment will be available at the information desk. The information desk is just at the back over there. Towards everyone's left. You can also find candles there to put on the steps as well. So candlelight glow sticks are also available for a gold coin donation, and we do care. Your safety is our first priority, so please stay away from the tram. Just stay in the square, please. So to kickstart tonight's event, I would first like like to welcome Usol Leu, who is the Chief Convener of AKO. He has a long history of involvement in Korean community in Australia and democracy restoration in Burma. Everyone please welcome Usol Leu.
Thank you, everyone. Allow me to say a few words. In my formal pretext speech, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, it is great pleasure to give the opening remark at the important Candlelight Vigil to honor those heroes in Myanmar organized by the Ouyang Burmese State KYPL in conjunction with the AAMMC City, ABSCF, APO, BCDC, KAA, MNN, and NGM. This event has been endorsed by the AFIDA, Community Aid Abroad, and also the Amnesty International Australia, AIA. I welcome the Honourable Senator James Smith, leader of the Australian Parliamentarian Friends of Myanmar, and also Honourable Senator Penny Wong, leader of the opposition and the Senate, who are sending pre-recorded speeches in tonight's program. I'm also welcome our guest speaker, Joe McHugh, the strategic campaign leader of the Amnesty International Australia, and Dr. Tuong Shui, coordinator of the CRPA supporting group New South Wales, and the NGM speakers. And we are also joined a number of renowned musicians and performers tonight. The Candlelight Vigil tonight is in remembrance of those who have given their lives for the future of our nation, Myanmar, since the first military coup and the second on the March 1962, and the second military coup 18 September 1988, and the also third military coup in the 1st February 2021. We hold the vigil to honor and celebrate their patriotic hearts and acts of heroism. We pay homage and salute those CDM heroes who are brutally killed by the military and police forces during their peaceful protests, and their family left behind, those who were injured, and also those are arbitrarily arrested, those tortured, and the young generation with their revolutionary zeal, showing their objection to the military rule. As our objective tonight is to also launch the campaign for the National Unity Government, NUG, may I give a brief history of the National Unity Government. On the 16th April 2021, a historic announcement that the NUG has been formed was made by the committee of the elected parliamentarians by the November 2020 general election. The committee representing Gidongzu Lutto, CRPH, who were prevented from taking their seat from the military attempted coup on the 1st February 2021. The NUG to serve as an interim governing body for the people of Myanmar as they continue to oppose the illegal terrorist military junta and work towards a federal democratic future. Members of the National Unity Government NUG included Daw Aung San Suu Kyi as a state councillor, U Win Myint as a president, Duwa Lashila as a vice president, and Man Win Khai Thang as a prime minister. The interim government was formed following wide consultation and through the collective effort of the CRPH and diverse political party, Ethnic Nationality Consultation Council, ENCC, then Civil Disobedience, the movement CDM, General Strike Committee, and the leader of the Ethnic Armed Organization. The National Unity Government, NUG, will move forward on the basis of the new Federal Democratic Charter as a result of the CRPH announcing that the military draft 2008 Constitution has been abolished. We all believe that military coup on the 1st February was and is illegal. 3 months on today, it does not have effective control over the country, and the Tamaro has no claim to be a legitimate government by law or by the people of Myanmar. The National Unity Government, on the other hand, has the support of the people through their elected representative and representative organization. It now constitutes the legitimate government of Myanmar. It's a national unity government. The Federal Democratic Charter provides the path forward of the Myanmar future. We accordingly urge Australian government and international community to recognize the National Unity Government as the government of Myanmar. We now have clarity who are represent the people of Myanmar in the international arena, and the National Unity Government must be recognized as a government of Myanmar. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence and your endorsement to recognize National Unity Government. We honor heroes tonight by recognizing National Unity Government, and NUG is to end military rule, to stop further human rights violation against the people of Myanmar, and to bring about future Federal Democratic Union of Burma. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Usoloi U. I would now like to welcome U Tinkoko, who is from the All Burma Students Democratic Front and will be leading the tribute. This will then be followed by James Newt, who will be performing the Mamaji Ru.
So, ready. So, Parama Lipuche Toyaka, Jaso Libido, Bujo, outside of Azani, Gong Jimio, Lipu Kepae. Juliagano, democracy type was said by Jaso Toka Jado, Yahashilu, Janga Bidu Power, General Lipu Kepae. Tadiaga, General, the minute, silent, General Gopi Kepae. So, Lipuche Toya, Canal Sava. So, General Lipuche Toya, General Yobi, Lip Yomapare, Auto Soto Mule, Auto Chopiba, Jizuki, thank you, Auto Chopiba. So, General Yobi, Lip Yomapare. Oh! Yay! Just so little. Choke on Sunday one. Azani goes on Jimia. Lie! You. Die! Yeah. Democracy type process just so long ago. Yahashilu, Jauda Bidu Power. Lie! Do! Lie! Yeah! Democracy type process just so long ago. Yahashilu, Jauda Bidu Power, go Budo Api. A million! Yeah! ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ Thank you so much.
Let's raise your hand. Salute heroes of Myanmar.
we'll have a video message from Her Excellency Dozima, who is the Acting Foreign Minister of the National Unity Government.
Dear friends and supporters all around the world, thank you all so much for showing unwavering support to the people of Myanmar and the National Unity Government. It has been almost 3 months since Myanmar's Spring Revolution started. The Spring Revolution marks as a milestone struggle of our people to restore democracy in Myanmar. People from all walks of life in Myanmar have come together as one united front to challenge by all possible means the injustice imposed on our society by the military. As you all know, the military committed atrocities against religious leaders, politicians, journalists, activists, doctors, nurses, teachers, workers, students, actors, and actresses, and even underage teenagers. The military is destroying the backbone of our society. Actually, it is not something new. The military has never been the protector of the country and our people. It instead has been the existential threat to our society for decades. The military thinks that our people will be silenced by instituting fears among us. However, history proves that our people are never silent. They always fight back. From the mountains of Kagaborazi to the island of Candlelight, the message of the people of Myanmar has been clear: democracy and freedom. Generations after generations courageously fight against authoritarian rule because we firmly believe that Myanmar people deserve to live with human dignity together with all humanity. As our people have suffered countless human rights violations, war crimes, and crime against humanity, we all know from the deepest corner of our hearts that how precious democracy and human rights are. Exactly for this reason, in safeguarding and protecting the country from falling under totalitarian rule, the National Unity Government NUG was formed on April 16, 2021 by the mandate of Committee representing Hidangsutoto CRPH in accordance with guiding principle of Federal Democracy Charter enacted on March 31, 2021. All these arrangements are historic as well as momentous because they represent the united voice of people from all sectors of society. The strength of unity we have now must be preserved and further enhanced by a meaningful cooperation. Of course, our struggle will not be easy job. We will have to face challenges on all fronts. We will face those challenges together with our people as well as our friends from all over the world. Millions of people inside Myanmar are chanting, "We want democracy," singing the songs of struggle with hopes and aspiration to establish the 9th Federal Democratic Union, which preserves and protects freedom, justice, and equality for all. Likewise, hundreds of millions of people all over the world are joining our struggle every day in many forms. They are showing sense of unity and solidarity in our struggle. They are messaging that we are not alone in this, and they are signaling that the strength of solidarity transcends the boundaries. We all are sending the same message to the world, that is, enough is enough. We cannot let insanity of dictators to continue anymore. Dear friends, in the end, between right and wrong, the right must prevail. We will do everything we can to make that happen. The support of each and every one of you play a critical role in this journey. We are by no means alone in this world. We all are together on this. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for showing solidarity and standing together with us, standing together with our revolution. Thank you.
Truly thank Her Excellency for that special message. I would, as a reminder, like to get everyone to sign your signature or leave a message. And the poster, the banner at the back on the white there, to in tribute and respect to our fallen heroes. I would now like to welcome U Do Shui, who will be presenting his speech in representative of the CRPH support group.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to you all for allowing me to speak out the formation of CRPH support groups in Australia and New South Wales in particular. As we all know, on 8th of November 2020, the people of Myanmar, they chose the leaders who will lead them for the next 5 years. The Union Election Commission announced on 13th of November that the NLD have won 396 seats out of 476 in the federal parliament. This is far more than the 332 seats that needs to form a government. According to the 2008 Constitution, the date for the convening the federal parliament is on Monday, 1st February 2021. The elected representative and delegates from military has been in Naypyidaw since the last week of January. But we all know that the junta took over on 1st of February. Early in the morning, President U Win Myint and Daw Aung San Suu Kyi and cabinet members and the leaders at the parliament, they are arrested and barred from holding the parliament. Due to the given circumstances, the committee representing Idul Dato, we know CRPH, that was formed on 5th of February, 4 days after the military coup, by the elected representative of the 2020 general election, to enable to carry out the work of the parliament when it is not allowed to convene by the military. Today marks the 90th day of military coup and also 68th day of the formation of the CRPH. During that time, the CRPH led the civil government by appointing acting ministers while President U Win Myint and Daw Aung San Suu Kyi were in custody. CRPH supports Syria movement and also other anti-military movement in Myanmar. And also CRPH works with governments and international bodies to be able to restore democracy in Myanmar. And then eventually the CRPH formed the National Unity Government on 16th of April after a series of consultation meetings with various ethnic organizations, political parties, and civil society organizations. In the message of Her Excellency Daw Zima Aung, the junta thought the people will be silent by installing fears. But what is happening in Myanmar proves that people were not silent. So we all know that. So the people means not only people in Myanmar, people around the world, including us. So in order to strengthen the unity and our efforts to support CRPH, U Tin Aung called us on 28th of March. Me, Dr. Mitchell and Kojo Somu from Melbourne and asked to formation of CRPH support group in Australia. So we shared this request in the anti-Myanmar military dictatorship network, and then we discussed how we could respond to this request. Firstly, we formed a formation committee with delegates across Australia. Dr. Mia Choi and me, we took responsibility to setting up a CRPH group in New South Wales. Secondly, we agreed to develop the term of reference with advice of the formation committee members to ensure that the support group were organized in a systematic manner. In the fourth meeting of the formation committee, held on 11 April, the current terms of reference version 3 was approved, and then we started formation of state-level CRPH support group in Australia. So for New South Wales states, the formation meetings were held on 11, 14, 18, 21st, and 28th of April. After the series of meetings, the CRPH support group New South Wales was formed with 21 organizations and 18 individuals. The organizing body of this event, the Candlelight Vigil today, EYBL, ABSDF, EKO, ECDC, KAA, and MNC, Moon National Council, all of them are members of CRPH support group New South Wales. The formation of CRPH support group Australia will be discussed tomorrow because other states and territories already formed a similar group like us. When we finish the formation of the CRPH support group Australia, there will be a total of 633 organizations with a total of 125 representatives. It is made up of the democratically elected members. So the support group will assist upon request of CRPH and then its international relations department in the areas of fundraising, lobbying, and also we will provide updates of Australian government policy and political view on Myanmar. And also, we're going to take action on special requests directed by CRPH and International Relations Department. Dr. Mao also mentioned in her video message that each and every one of you plays a critical role in this journey. And she also mentioned that first, we all need to show our solidarity and unity, and we should stand together with our revolution. So I would like to say the CRPH support groups in Australia is exactly reflect what she means. I also believe that you already heard about Mr. Dave Sharma's remark, who is a chairperson of the Parliamentary Subcommittee for Foreign Affairs and Trade. So he mentioned that our Burmese Myanmar community should follow how Vietnamese and Cambodian community work. So I would like to reply his remark here today that under the umbrella of CRPH support group, we are coming together in solidarity and working together in one team. It is coming with one voice. We are going to bring about overthrow of military dictatorship, and also we're going to show democracy and human rights values must be the same like people in Australia and Myanmar. Thank you so much.
I'd just like to make a quick announcement. If anyone's found a pair of Vogue sunglasses, the owner is waiting at the back of this banner to come and collect it. This morning we received a phone call from Senator Dean Smith with an apology for not being able to attend tonight's event, but he will try and meet the Burmese community in the future when he's in Sydney. He has been to Myanmar a couple of times in the past, and he strongly supports the democracy movement in Myanmar. So next up, I'd like to welcome Ms. Tananda to present Senator Penny Wong's statement.
This is a statement from Senator Penny Wong, Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs. The people of Myanmar have shown immense courage in the 90 days since the Damodars' direct attack on Myanmar's democratic transitions. Australian Labor stands in solidarity with the people of Myanmar and with the supporters of Myanmar's democracy in Australia. We condemn the violent crackdowns against protesters. We condemn the Damador's mass arrests of politicians, human rights defenders, students and journalists. All political prisoners must be released. Australian Labor called for the Morrison government to review its military cooperation with the Damador, and over a month later, this cooperation was suspended. But Australia must do more. Australian Labor continues to call on the Morrison government to apply additional and targeted sanctions against Myanmar's leaders and to enable Myanmar nationals on temporary visas in Australia to extend their safety. Australia should not be deporting people to Myanmar in these circumstances. Australian Labor will always stand up for human rights and democracy. We cannot be bystanders in our region. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Tatnanda, and we thank Senator Wong for also sending through her message and showing us their respect. I'd love to now welcome Deborah Tin and her amazing group of singers who will be presenting the song We Are the World. Feel free to show your candlelight and show your respects to them and join on in too.
There's a choice to make it.
Thank you so much, Auntie Debrati and the group, for the lovely performance. Next up, I'd like to welcome Joel Mackay, who is a representative from Amnesty International.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're meeting today on stolen land. I'd like to begin by acknowledging tonight that we are meeting on stolen land. I'd like to acknowledge elders, past and present, and those young Indigenous leaders emerging in our community. I'd also just like to thank you very much for inviting Amnesty International to be part of your event tonight. Thank you for being here. We stand in solidarity with you and your cause, and we are here to ensure that the human rights violations occurring in Myanmar are called out here and across the world. Human rights are under attack in Myanmar. Even the most basic human rights that we are all granted to, that to the right of life. And my sincere condolences go to your community tonight in looking at the death toll and the loss that your community is suffering. Let's be very clear. We are talking about a coup led by criminal generals who have not been held to account. The situation today is a direct result from the inaction of the international community. This includes ASEAN, this includes the Australian government. And we must come together to call on the Australian government to call out these human rights abuses, these violations, and call for more for the situation in Myanmar. We're talking about hundreds of civilian deaths. We're talking about an economy that has been brought to its knees. Is the economy expected to contract by up to 20%? And broader, while food prices increase, banking systems are disrupted, and cash availability hinder humanitarian operations, it is very clear that action must be taken. It is really heartbreaking to hear that the World Food Programme has estimated that up to 3.4 million people in Myanmar, due to this inaction, will face hunger in coming months. If not stopped, these human rights violations committed in Myanmar will result in escalating violence, more deaths, hunger, mass displacement, and Australia and the ASEAN community must do more. We are calling on the Australian government to show leadership, to call out the human rights violations in our region, to show leadership within ASEAN, calling on the Australian government to stand with you and your community. They must enact targeted and multilateral sanctions against the leaders of the military coup and enforce those sanctions as soon as possible. The Australian government must continue to speak out of these human rights violations, be a leader, speaking for you, speaking on behalf of the Myanmar community, and talking about the reality that is facing the community. Also, very importantly, Australia must not, under any circumstances, be sending people back to Myanmar. And it is very important that the Australian government act on visa extensions as soon as they can. And this is something that Amnesty International will continue to be campaigning for. Again, thank you for having me here tonight on behalf of Amnesty International. We stand in solidarity with you. Continue your work. We are here alongside you to help call out the human rights violations and to try to get Australia to act and lead in our region. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joel Mackay and Amnesty International. It's amazing to see that there are more voices sharing and supporting us as well. I would now like to welcome Kate Lee now, who is the Executive Officer from Union Aid Abroad.
Mingalaba! Good evening, everybody. I want to start by acknowledging the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I acknowledge that sovereignty over this land was never ceded by Aboriginal people. This will always be Aboriginal land. My name's Kate, and as I've been introduced, I work for Union Aid Abroad FIDA, which is the international solidarity organisation of the Australian Union movement. And so today and tonight we stand here in solidarity with you and with all people in Myanmar today. When I last spoke here on March the 27th, 353 people had been murdered by the military junta since February 1. Now, 759 people have been killed. The murders have more than doubled in just 35 days. With 4,537 people have been arrested without charge, or some of them, without access to lawyers or family, and many of them haven't been charged, and some of them have been charged. For those fighting every day for the basic right to live without fear, without repression, and to live with freedom of expression, with freedom of association, we stand with them here tonight and every day. To every fallen hero killed since February 1, your sacrifice will not be forgotten. It is remembered by all of us. And today is May the 1st, May Day. This is the International Workers' Day, celebrated all around the world. It's also a day of struggle for workers internationally. So tonight I want to talk with you about the sacrifice by workers of Myanmar. And you know many of these stories. Workers right across the country are part of the civil disobedience movement every day and have been since February 1. Doctors and nurses, engineers, teachers, bank workers, railway workers, oil and gas workers, entire areas of the civil service have been shut down by workers walking out as part of the CDM. And these workers have been targeted for arrest, and many of them have been charged. So just to give you one example, and across the international trade union movement, we have now documented hundreds and thousands of examples of workers in different situations. But just to give you an example tonight, within the period of the 13th to the 15th of April, 139 doctors in public hospitals, working in public hospitals right across the country, were charged with Penal Code 505A. On April the 21 alone, 58 doctors were charged under the same penal code. And that's a total of 197 doctors arrested and charged and being held. 197 doctors that could be treating the COVID crisis right across the country are being treated as criminals by the military junta. As we know, this has to stop. To date, 1,700 public sector workers right across the country have been suspended from work, dismissed, in some cases charged under the Penal Code 505A. Among the 759 people killed, we know for sure that 24 were active trade union leaders and possibly many more. There have been 79 documented arrests of worker leaders and over 220 others subjected to arrest warrants. 74 journalists have been arrested since February 1 and 40 are still in detention. So today on May Day 2021, I want to recognise the struggle of workers right across the country in upholding the civil disobedience movement and those who have sacrificed with their lives in that struggle. Now we know that recently the junta participated in the ASEAN leaders meeting, but the junta has already walked away from any kind of consensus that could have been reached. 6 people, at least 6 people have been killed since that meeting. How will ASEAN respond? How will they step up the pressure? We need to increase our expectations on ASEAN. But we also know that Australian businesses are culpable and are participating in the dirty business of supporting the military regime. Mining companies such as Myanmar Metals continues to operate. Their headquarters are in Perth. Baldwin Joint Venture Group, another mining company, continues to operate. ANZ Bank must suspend its business there. It's been called on to suspend its business and it won't do it. Multinational companies like Total and Chevron must end the game that they play and they must exit the country. We are calling on all Australian and international businesses to suspend operations immediately. And I think all of you know that a group of 6 senators this week across US senators across the Republican and Democratic Party called on the US President to impose more powerful new sanctions, including sanctioning the Myanmar oil and gas enterprise. So the pressure is increasing on Australia to step off the fence and join the international community in sanctioning the junta. So we are calling on the Australian government tonight, again, to apply comprehensive, targeted sanctions against the military, its leaders and its business interests and business partners. This should include the family members of senior military leaders who are residing here in Australia. It should also include the military corporations MEC, MEHL and MOGE. We ask all Australian businesses in Myanmar to suspend operations and divest from its relationships with the military-owned corporations. We call on the Australian government to provide urgent, comprehensive assistance to the national civil disobedience movement. All forms of practical and diplomatic assistance must be offered to the movement by the Australian Embassy in Yangon, who we see is completely absent. Many other embassies in Yangon are offering explicit and public shows of support. The Australian Embassy is completely absent and must do more. We call on the Australian government to formally recognise the National Unity Government, the truly elected government of Myanmar. So our organisation, Union Aid Abroad AFIDA, and the Australian Council of Trade Union has stood with the peoples of Myanmar for nearly 30 years in the pro-democracy struggle. We will continue to stand with you here in Australia and with all people of Myanmar until this struggle is realised. We know that your cause, our cause, will succeed. Ayaydoban! 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 Thank you.
Thank you, Kate, for your speech. We thank you for your support, and we wholeheartedly agree that the Australian government must do more. So next up, we'll have Terry Batu performing the song Tears in Heaven.
Okay.
such a beautiful rendition of Tears in Heaven. And you all look really amazing showing your candles as well. Just as a reminder, there aren't too many candles left, but we still have some glow sticks, so if you would love to still purchase some, just a gold donation. It's going towards the CEM movement and also to assist those who are in need. I would now like to welcome a very special guest who is a YouTube inspiration. Her name is Rebecca Samawi from India. She has been showing support to our community for the past few months by actually singing on YouTube her revolution songs. Unfortunately, she and in India, they are going through COVID lockdown, so she has given us a message done at home, but she is still amazing, and I would love for you to have a look just onto the side here, to the right. Thank you. I'm terribly sorry, but we are experiencing some technical difficulties, as you are aware, coming from overseas as well, but we will be seeing her message very shortly. As a reminder again, if you haven't signed your name yet or given a message, just at the back over there, the white banner is there. That is to show our honour for our fallen heroes. I would now actually... We might go forth then and continue with some songs. I would like to bring on Deborah Tin and her amazing group. I always get chills when I hear them singing, but they will be now singing You Raise Me Up.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdens me, then I am still and waiting in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am still with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand the next item will be heal the world. There will not be a perfect world, but the world can be better, isn't it? But we need one another, you and me. Let's make this world a better place. Heal the world. The world is sick and Myanmar is really sick. So heal. There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place was brighter than tomorrow. If you really try, you find there's no limit.
thank you for being here. Thank you to those who organized this event and asked me to come and speak today. I have given speeches at school before, but I have never spoken in the public, a place like this. So I am a little bit nervous, but I am going to try my best. I am 9 years old and I do not understand the politics of Myanmar, but I do know what is right and what is wrong. Even as a child, I can do the right thing by speaking up, which I am doing right now in front of you all. And anyone who is watching, so that I can help raise awareness of what is happening in Myanmar. Since the Myanmar military coup, more than 40 children have been killed. A total of 15 children under the age of 60, including 11 years old, 9 years old, and 6 years old are among the dead. It is quite sad that the children are getting killed. They also witnessed the horror and violence that took place in their own homes. It is clear that Myanmar is no longer a safe place for the children or anyone who are fighting for a basic human right. There are children here like myself who are lucky enough to be born in Australia. We have safety, shelter, and a warm bed, and we can sleep peacefully at night. But the children of Myanmar, they no longer have that. They can no longer sleep peacefully in their own homes. I can go to school and children here have access to the best education we can get. But can we say the same thing about the children of Myanmar? No, we cannot. When children here are not feeling well, we have access to healthcare. But can we say the same thing about the children of Myanmar? No, we cannot. As a child living here, I will never go home because I have parents who will feed me. But can we say the same thing about the children of Myanmar? No, we cannot, because their parents have been taken away from them. I can voice my opinions without the fear of getting shot. My mom once told me that anyone at any age, no matter how old or young, can be a human rights defender. All I have to do was to raise my voice. I have the human right, all of you have the human right, to stand up for the people of Myanmar. Everyone deserves a fair chance in life, and we must do everything in our power to make that happen. Imagine every child of Myanmar attending school every day, playing safely in the open, sharing moments with their friends and family, and getting a peaceful sleep every night. We can achieve all of this peacefully in a prosperous and democratic society. Many children before me are speaking up. Children like me are demanding for our rights. Children are acting out for the better tomorrow. So what will you do? This is what you must do. Please continue to raise your voice for the people of Myanmar. Democracy Yashiye! Democracy Yashiye! Democracy Yashiye! Thanks for listening.
To take us back, as I was mentioning before, Rebecca Somali. We unfortunately can't get the video, but we can still hear her voice. So please listen up. She has been singing lots of revolution songs in Burmese, though she can't actually speak Burmese, but she is able to pronounce really well. You can find her on YouTube, and she has been showing us constant support. So yes, the video will also be posted on the AYBL website and also on YouTube if you want to have a look after. It'd be great to show her support as well. Thank you very much.
Unwavering support and solidarity to the people of Myanmar in the fight for democracy. It has been 90 days of injustice, tumult and chaos since the military took over the government. Unarmed civilians have been brutally attacked by the military with guns to silence their peaceful protests. Many have lost their lives while the world turns a deaf ear to the horrific sufferings of innocent people. The very freedom, which is the birthright of every human being, is stripped away by this illegal regime. This is fully reminiscent of the previous long-drawn struggle against the first military coup. We have to do what is right and stop history from repeating itself. My heart is heavy today. I think about the children who now have to survive under this heartless dictatorship. Doesn't the army know these are your brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, your own people? They deserve peace, they deserve freedom. Today, I also urge democratic countries and compassionate people of the world to be vocal in your support and to recognize the legitimacy of the National Unity Government, the true representative of the people of Myanmar. This fight is a fight for humanity. Let us be on the right side of history and extend solidarity as the people of Myanmar struggle for democracy once again. We cannot stand by and watch the horrors unfold daily. The souls of the brave hearts and the hearts of millions of freedom-loving Burmese people are calling us today. And I go down my head with respect to the fallen heroes and to the ones who are still fighting for democracy. We will resist, and by God, we will prevail. Thank you.
That was absolutely amazing, and knowing that again she can't speak Burmese, she was able to sing that so well. Again, that is you can access that on YouTube as well, and to show Rebecca her support as she has supported us. I'd now like to welcome more talent. It is Yim Mo and Cherry U who will continue to sing the Revolution song.
pay tribute to our ethnic brothers and sisters in Myanmar with a song called Silong Chin The Ea. This will be performed by Jones Man, RT, Lala, Minni, and Yimo. Tayana Silong Nye Ye! Tayana Silong Nye Ye! Ana Shisne Cha Song Ye! Yerabo! Tayana Silong Nye Ye! Yerabo!
Don't
to welcome Zin Lin, who will be performing the song Koa King Mingye.
Yo! right အားလုံးပဲမင်္ဂလာပါခင်ဗျာကျွန်တော်9နာရီလေးထုတ်ပြီးဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်တို့နောက်ဆုံးအနေနဲ့ကျွန်တော် wrap up လေးပြောပြပါလို့အန်ကယ်ဦးကနေကအခုညတောင်းတဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်ဒီနေ့ညလာပြောခြင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်ဒီနေ့ပြောချင်တဲ့အကြောင်းအရာလေးကတော့အားလုံးပဲကျွန်တော်ပြီးတော့ပဲဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက် Gen Z လေးတွေအလယ်မှာနေပေးပါလူကြီးတွေကအနောက်မှာကျွန်တော်တို့ဝိုင်းပြီးတော့เนาะဆုထားပေးပါလို့ကျွန်တော်တို့မီးလေးတွေလည်းစနစ်ပြအောင်လုပ်ထားပေးပါအားလုံးလည်းပြင်ပန်းကြပါပြီဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်ရှေ့ကြီးလည်းပြောမှာမဟုတ်ပါဘူးဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အော်မရှိတဲ့နောက်မရှိတဲ့အန်တီအန်ကယ်တွေရှေ့လာပေးပါဖျောင်းနိုင်လေးတွေဒါမှမဟုတ် mobile phone လေးတွေစနစ်လုပ်ထားပေးပါဟုတ်ပြီနော်အထူးသဖြင့်တော့လူငယ်တွေရှေ့ကိုလာပေးပါလို့ကျွန်တော်ပြောစရာလေးရှိပါတယ်The young generation said, and the young generation, can you please come forward, stand in the middle, in the front row, surrounded and protected by the adults and the elders of our generation. Because I have a message for you. Because today, we marked 3 months of the military coup in our country. When I heard that, someone posted couple of days ago saying that, well, about 3 months already. But actually what I noticed is actually not 3 months, it's actually 70 years and some 3 months. Because we like to only remember the last coup that we had, and actually this thing been going on for over 70 years, and this has to stop it. In the young generation, you all have to lead this role. But when I ask you to lead it, I swear, do not forget, when this event happened, I have to coordinate with 3 different generations. I have to coordinate with Uncle Kenneth, the Generation X. And I have to coordinate with Mademoiselle and Generation Y. And I have to coordinate with Generation Z. I know that this time we're going to finish this. Because the unity and the understanding of each other's, even though Generation X, Uncle Ukene like to use the email. And Generation Y and Z like to use a lot of messages, a lot of different groups. Even though we do have a different view and a vision, but we all have the one direction. We must end this 70 years plus 3 months of something of this military coup. Because you know why? If we give up and tired, because I heard the news that people are getting cold, people are getting tired, people are getting weary. Because that's what happened to me, and that's what happened to Generation X, Uncle Janet, Uncle Kenneth, and the adults like us. Many of us. We didn't tired, we didn't give up. But Generation Z, you cannot give up. We must finish this fight. And we promise you, we as the X and the Y will support whatever we can. Whatever we can. And yesterday, I saw this post from one of our Next Gen members. Quincy posted this. When he saw this, people of groups in Yangon and Mandalay, and young people are running in the rain, carrying and shouting and screaming on the street of Yangon and Mandalay, and such a resilience and persistence and the bravery, that's the exact word that he used. That encouraged me to speak tonight. And because until last night, I was actually keep telling, no, I'm speaking too much, I'm talking too much, I don't want to say. But when I saw Quincy posted that persistent, resistant, bravery, we must honor them. Because we need resistance, and we need persistence, we need resistance. What we need to keep going in this resilience is a couple of things. And that's it, and I'm done with that. Number 1, before you go home, remember that we must finish this fight. It's only 3 months into it. We have more to go, and we must resistant, and we must persistent, and we must resilient at it. Are you all with me? we can keep the resilience going is, believe it or not, you must have faith in this revolution. When I say faith, I'm not only talking about our religious. When I say faith, you must have faith that we're going to win this, we're going to fight this, we're going to be until end of them, we go together X, Y, Z, and Alpha today. How we going to do it is one way, it's a one reason, and only one way is so we can keep it. The faith in love. The faith in love to each other. So actually I asked some of my connection in Burma, they're actually fighting. And tell me what is driving you every day. You know what they said? The love of people of our country. They're driving us. The love of people of my people that not going to be lined up for a food, not going to be lined up for an ATM, not going to be lined up for anything. We all know that. We went through that. Line up for petrol, line up for everything. Education system that we went through. They love them so much that they don't want this next generation or Alpha to go through. Generation Z are fighting for it. So friends and family, when you go home tonight, for your resilience, have faith in love of each other. Have faith in love of each community. Doesn't matter all different group, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, E, N, G, A, whatever it is, we must love and unite each other. We must keep on going. We cannot keep on going without love. Number two, we must keep on communicating each other. We must keep on talking. We may have a different understanding and ages, but we must keep on talking for our people. It may seem like nothing happening yet, but if we keep on talking with EAO, our ethnic groups, we still have a misunderstanding. It's going to take very long time to understand each other. Do not give up. Do not give up hope. It will have a federal Myanmar united, whatever they're going to call. It's going to be supported national unity government with all nations, all generations will unite, and it will be a new Myanmar is coming. And hallelujah. I'm a pastor, so sorry, I have to finish that. I'd like to give the floor to Domingo 9 to finish with a chanting and a bit of speech.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I also like to thank to the AYBF for organizing a wonderful event today. Thank you, Host Stephen Winter, for the opportunity. Just like to say a few words that, in Burma, democracy prevails in Burma. That's as long as we are not give up, we are not losing hope. As long as we keep fighting, the democracy will prevail and justice will come in Burma. Thank you. Coach Stephen. We must win. 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 Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
I just hijacked the program a little bit. I just want to share with something. In 1963, in the United States, the great man, Martin Luther King, had a dream. In the United States, the black and white one day will be equally treated. And they have achieved to certain level of that dream. In 2018, in Singapore, there's a summit. And Aung San Suu Kyi has a vision for us. Her vision is to match Singapore economically in 20 years' time. And a lot of young people have dreamed about it. And they are are fighting against the military dictatorship because they want freedom and they want to fulfill the Aung San Suu Kyi vision. And we are here to help that vision achieved. In Burma, there's a lot of ethnic, our brothers and sisters, they have a dream of building a democratically structured nation, democratic nation. And we are here to fulfill, to support their dream as well. I would like to ask you, can we do that? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you. Now the last program for our chanting, I will call upon Kotingoko. Kotingoko will lead our chanting slogans.
Democracy, Yashiye! Just so Isauye! Aung San Suu Kyiနဲ့ထိုင်းသိမ်းကနိုင်ငံရေးသမားများဖမ်းဆီးကပြည်သူများဖမ်းဆီးကကျောင်းသားများပြည်သူအာဏာပြည်သူပြန်ပဲပြည်သူအာဏာပြည်သူပြန်ပဲကြောက်မတက်နဲ့ကြောက်မတက်နဲ့မျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးအစိုးရSoya NUG. Abyuda Ninyoye Soya. Abyuda Ninyoye Soya. Amma Pika Yapeva. Do Kidure Niela He. Do Kidure Niela He. Do Tainare Niela He.
Very much for joining us tonight. I would like now to welcome all Yimin and his band. Really appreciate, it's amazing to see how much talent we have in our community. So please do show your respect. The band and the singers have done such an amazing work today. So please do stay around, give them applause as well. And they will be continuing on to sing to thank us all for being here today. Thank you so much.
ပေါ်မြေမြမကြမ်းငါတို့အားလုံးငါအမျက်မခံစစ်အာဏာတွန်းလှန်လာကြဟဲ့ညီကိုမောင်နှမတွေငါတို့အားလုံးခိကျွေးကြမယ်အာဏာရှိကြဆုံးစေညီစေနော်ထွေးလာမခုံနဲ့ညီစေနော်ရှုံးမပေးဘူးဟဲ့သဆုံးကတိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြရင်လူတိုက်ပွဲမြင်အောင်နိုင်ရမယ်ကြဟဲ့ဒီမုံမျိုးချစ်တွေငါတို့အားလုံးငါကြွေးကြောဒီပါမြင်ကြစေလာကြဟဲ့မြမပြည်သားတို့ရေငါတို့အားလုံးစီလုံးကရေတော်ကိုအောင်ရမှာညီစေနော်ဆွဲလက်မပြုံးနဲ့ညီစေနော်ရှုံးမပေးဘူးဟဲ့တန်ဆုံးတိုင်းတိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြရင်လူတိုက်ပွဲမြင်အောင်နိုင်ရမယ်ညီစေနော်တွဲလာမပြုံးနဲ့ညီစေနော်ရှုံးမပေးဘူးဟဲ့သဆုံးတိုင်းတိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြရင်ညီစေနော်တွဲလာမပြုံးနဲ့ညီစေနော်ရှုံးမပေးဘူးဟဲ့သဆုံးတိုင်းတိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြရင်လူတိုက်ပွဲမြင်အောင်နိုင်ရမယ်လူတိုက်ပွဲမြင်အောင်နိုင်ရမယ်ရှေရင်ခလေးလူကြီးကိုပါဝေးရှာမယ်ငြိမ်းချမ်းတဲ့တို့အတွက်အားလုံးပဲရှုံးထွက်ရှာမယ်လမ်းနဲ့ရစတဲ့စေအုံချုံယူမြအောင်ဝဲတော့တွေ့တယ်တွေဒီကိုလိုမယ်တော့လုံးသားတွေရဲဖို့လိုမယ်တော့ပြီးတော့ကိုတို့ဆုံးဖြတ်ရမယ်လမ်းနဲ့ရစတဲ့စေအုံချုံယူမြပြောက်ခွဲတမောင်းတွေတီအကုန်ကြီးညာရမယ်နောက်ဆုံးတိုက်ပွဲနိုင်သေးချာထိုးထွန်းတော့တော့မမျိုးစံတော့ဝတော့ကဆိုတဲ့ရမယ်တရေကောင်းလို့တည်ခဲ့ရစအောင်ချုံယူများကြောက်ခွေတော့တွေ့တယ်တွေဒီကိုလိုမယ်တော့လုံးသားတွေရဲဖို့လိုမယ်တော့ပြီးတော့ကိုတော့ဆုံးဖြတ်ရမယ်လမ်းနဲ့ရစတဲ့စေအောင်ချုံယူများပြောက်ခွေချုံယူမြပြော